Watch it. Down. Put it down. Come on. Let's go. Don't stop. Come on, don't stop.
Now you guys have just there witnessed the actual full bent over row drop set of doom. March 2018, that was the Arnold Classic Weekend, but we went down to Cincinnati. And I started at 5 plates and worked my way down. That was a cool time at the Tiger Fitness Gym. Mark Lobliner was there. That was incredibly difficult. So even then, that was 5 years ago. I was well into my mid-40s. I knew I only had a few years left of wanting to do the crazy lifting. So I think that was the only time I actually tried to do bent over rows with 500, but I was routinely doing 405 for 10 plus. So now we're moving on here. Current day, 50 years old. I have no intention of trying to do bent over rows with 500 pounds again, but I do find bent over rows are a great exercise for lat development. Now, one of the variations I thought you guys would really like here is starting, got a 10-pound bumper plate on each side. Well, instead of always just throwing the plates on, we have a set of bands, and we are going to start adding each set. Instead of increasing weight, we're going to add the bands, the thicker and thicker resistant bands per set. Now here, I've already gone through the bumper. I think I added 10 pounds a side. Just the bar. Now we're adding the bands for resistance. It's a great exercise. And of course, when you add the bands, it really changes the resistance curve as you're pulling the weight up. So as the weight's getting thicker, not having much weight on the bar starts to feel like a lot more weight. So I remember as I progress with this, going up in bands. Again, guys, I don't do the same workouts every week because I like to keep my body guessing. And my body gets accustomed to things very, very quickly. So this is a fantastic one. I'd like to see some of you guys try it and see what you think. So again, bent over rows, activating your lats. A lot of it is in the elbows. You don't want to flare your elbows out. And you're getting into more shoulder. So now I'm moving up again. Okay, now I remember this sucker's got a lot of resistance. I don't remember the actual poundage of resistance at the top, but there's quite a noticeable difference here on this one. I'm like, oh man, what is up with this? So now I'm back to the assisted pull-up machine. So a few weeks ago, last time I did that, it was right after I got worked over by the RMT, and I actually felt something weird happen in both my biceps, but I took a wider grip. So here I'm keeping my arms in a little closer, really just focusing more on my form and protecting my biceps, actually keeping my elbows turned in, pronated grip. And it felt quite good. I remember this workout, we were quite happy with the progress. So again, I didn't want to kill you guys with lots of boring footage, but I wanted to show you here for the biceps, I'm doing Zottman curls, okay? This is a great exercise for your biceps. Here, I'm explaining it, but this is a great exercise for your biceps if you've never done it before. Turn, down, up, turn, and down. So one of the things I noticed in this workout, a few minor issues with my left shoulder. I got some junk in there. I need another appointment with the RMT. Hopefully before the holidays are over, I'll be able to get in and see him. But I noticed on the rotation, as the dumbbells got heavier, it started hurting my left shoulder. So, and then I finished this workout, I think, with some different cable variation work. But I wanted this quick little video here, just showing you, changing the variable, what we're trained to do all the time when we're younger, just keep adding plates. Well, if you start adding resistance bands, change the variable. So change the time, set the timer, try and do a set of bent over rows for a minute. There's so much stuff you can do. So here I am, I'm going a little heavier, got the mutant shirt. I remember this workout was really weird because now my body's changing on a weekly basis. And I felt skinny fat or something this workout. I was like, my arms are looking skinny. I don't know what the hell's going on. I remember when I used to be massive, I would stretch those sleeves in that shirt like crazy, but that's not what we're going for anymore. We're going for lean, functionality, flexibility. But, we've come a long way. So I'm at the end of my phase 2 of my 3-phase plan. First, I want to get into the 200s when I was at 340, and then I want to get down to 275, and then the final phase, get down to 250, and if that takes a little longer, that's fine. So here's another angle of the Zottmans, and it'll be really interesting when I get down to where I want to be to see how much of that diastasis hernia is adding to the stomach girth. So it was really weird because we had our cheat meal before this, the day before this, so I was expecting a bit more of a glycogen pump. I don't know. Sometimes we're really into doing our workouts fasted, and sometimes even on no carbs, I can still get a decent pump, and then other days it's like, not the best pump. A little different. Again, I think it might be due to the declining IGF-1 levels. And here at the end, I had another accomplishment. I could actually grab my feet. This is a great lower back stretch that I like to do. Again, so the vein is just popping out here. But more and more flexible, and then I was able to grab my feet. Friends, Brian here for Middle Age Mind and Muscle, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about mental illness in small gyms. Now, first and foremost, I want to make it very clear to everybody, I have empathy and a lot of compassion for people with mental illness. I think physical exercise is very good for people with mental illness. But on the flip side of that, I think people who don't understand about it have to learn how to read signs and kind of protect their own sphere of life with who they allow in. And if you allow someone who has issues into your life, you're going to have some problems. So I want to tell you guys a story, yet another story, of a few years back. We're going to say around 2015, 2016. I did some personal training. I had a client. He was a young guy, and in his 20s, he was a little odd. And I guess I mean that in a general sense. He was just a little odd. And at the gym I went to at the time, I had an arrangement with the gym owners, which quickly turned into a nightmare and a disaster. At some point down the road, I might do a video on that for people wanting to get into the gym business, things that you have to do to protect yourself. But I had this client, and I was trying to train him, and he just wasn't getting it. No matter how I tried to explain things. But I was an early, and I am now, I like to go in and get my workouts done early in the morning. And things fell apart at this gym, and I quickly moved my equipment out, and I had an arrangement with another gym in the area, which worked out much better for me. And I had a key. I had a key to this gym, but the gym didn't open till 5 or even 6 o'clock in the morning. I went in because of my arrangement with the owner. I had equipment there. I was doing personal training. I had a key. I had access anytime I wanted. And I would go in at 4 in the mornings to get my workouts in before I'd start training clients at 6 or 7 in the morning. And when I left the disaster gym, some people left with me for a lot of reasons. They just weren't happy at that gym. Not trying to dig up old bones, but possible video for down the road. Well, this fellow, he wasn't my client anymore, but he really kind of thought we were really friends. And he started showing up at 4 in the morning. And I was kind of like, okay, like, what am I doing here? He's a little slow. He's not getting it. And when he would come in, I would put my headphones in. Oldest trick in the book, folks. I'd put my headphones in, I'd do my workouts. And he'd be watching me, and he'd be acting weird and stuff. And unfortunately, this is one of the things I hate about Facebook, especially when you have a business. Sometimes when you have a client and they friend request you, you're in a really hard situation. So at the time, I had added him on Facebook, but in real time while we're working out, he's making these posts, and they're popping up in my feed saying, I don't know what's going on with this guy. I thought we were friends. He's giving me shade at the gym. And I was just like, oh my God, and then he would come in, and then he'd be acting really upset or almost crying because, like, I'm trying to focus on my workout. And one day I pulled him aside. I said, hey, I need you to understand something. The gym doesn't really open till like 6 o'clock. So I have a key. I'm being nice. I'm letting you come in here and train, but the gym doesn't open. This is my workout time. And he kept coming in and doing the same shit. And I'm getting all these passive aggressive things. He's posting pictures of people giving the fingers saying, if you're not going to be my friend, F you, and this and that. I'm like, this guy's not getting it. He's coming in the gym on my time. I'm doing him a favor. I'm being nice. And it was really weird. I went through a really weird phase in my life for a number of years. And I hate to be mean to this town, but I think that there was something in the water there too. But I just had a flood of people with issues. come into my life, and a lot of them came into my life around the gym scene. And I was dumb and naive. And I just remember, like, it got to the point where this guy was just causing endless fucking drama. And and I'm getting to that point again. I'm like, okay, this is wrong. You know, this is my time. I kind of forget now what had happened at the end. Like, I don't know if... Friends, Brian here. I'm just in the process of editing this video, and I started to remember some details about this story. So a lot of you are probably saying, why didn't you say, hey man, the gym's closed, don't come back, it's not open right now, this is my time, the gym opens at 6. What had happened was the owners wanted to open the gym earlier. Since I was already there, they were like, hey, if you're already there, would you mind opening the gym Monday to Friday at 5 o'clock? And I agreed to. So I think at some point I told them, okay, like, this is my time, but you're welcome to come here at 5 when the gym opens. And when he'd come in at 5, it was still him and I just in the gym for a little while before other people started showing up. And he continued on with his bullshit. I had to say, look, this is my time. The gym's closed until whatever. But I remember the drama just kept stepping up and stepping up. And no matter which avenue I tried, right, it was like he'd be showing up at 4 in the morning. It's just weird. You're getting that kind of weird going, like, what is wrong with this guy? Like, so I got to the point where I actually had to start being a dick to the guy, right? And I had to take him off my Facebook. And then things started escalating. And at that time, a guy, the toxic training partner I was talking about a week or two ago, he did not like this guy. And he started coming in the mornings with me. And it got to the point they almost got into a confrontation. I'm like, well, at least I'm not the bad guy here. And so eventually, it just got really weird. And it's kind of like, I'm very sensitive now, and you guys are probably seeing, I don't go to the gym to make friends. And you're starting to see some of the stories as to why. When I feel that my workouts are being taken from me, or people are kind of being around me and ruining my workouts, it is a trigger for me now, because I'm just not going to put up with anyone's shit anymore. Believe me, I've had to a lot in the past. But, you know, it was just a really sad situation. Like, he was a client. I tried to be nice. I tried to be friendly, but he misinterpreted it, thinking we were best buddies. When I went to the new gym with the much better arrangement without all the bullshit, I'm there at 4 in the morning. He started showing up at 4 in the morning. Well, what am I supposed to do? You know, I think it got to the point where I said, look, the gym's actually closed. It opens at 6. I kind of explained to him a bunch of times. But I remember in the end, I had to start being really mean to him for him to get it and think, okay, like, we're not friends. It was just really, really weird. But it was just another one of those situations where I'm like, oh man, like, the good thing when you go to a big city or a bigger town and you see all the commercial gyms, you might be less likely to run into that because, you know, the gyms are busier, more people are coming and going, more people are focusing on their business. But in small towns, it was a little different. So, but that's just a story to show you, like, again, you know, like this guy, I was kind to him and he had mental illness issues and he just wasn't getting it. And he was starting to really ruin my workouts when I was going out of my way to be nice to him. At that point in time in my life, it just seemed like the floodgates opened and a lot of people with a lot of mental illness, personality disorders came into my life, mainly through the gym scenes. So that's why I say be careful out there. Anyway, that is my story. Again, mental illness, small towns, gyms. That's one of the problems with gyms. You get people from all spectrums of everything. I have compassion for people with mental illness, but at the same time, they don't have a right to come into my sphere of life and put their problems on me and cause drama and ruin my workouts. One of the many reasons I emphasize educating yourself and watching for signs when you go to the gym. This is my therapy.